Hello everyone, my name is Christian. Welcome back to my hobby blog. Today I'm going to be recounting and reviewing volumes 6, or actually 7 through 9 of Berserk. And this is obviously a series I love a lot. I've watched the 1997 anime, and I've also just always been like a big appreciator of the artwork because I'm a big From Software fan. I love Dark Souls. I love Elden Ring. I love all these series, and so it's really fun to read Berserk for me. And going right off of Volume 7 and what goes on here, I was really just pumped through the entire storyline with Doldry and the Tudor Empire, because we get a sort of flashback scene. Because at the end of Volume 6, we're kind of storming the castle of Doldry and trying to take out the last sort of leadership that is sort of keeping everything together in this empire. And Griffith is tasked with doing this. And the king is like, hey, if you can do this, like, just say it and I'll let you and your band go. And you guys can, figure it out and, get everything done. And we sort of watched them just have, like, this insane battle between Guts and everybody else. And he takes down, like, 100 people before this. And then he shows up to this fight. And he fights not only Ganon, but he also fights, I'm trying to get the names here, Bascone, who is sort of one of the main, like, generals, I believe. And he fights Guts, and we also have Adon, who is fighting Casca, which was a really cool fight. I thought that was fun. And Griffith beheads not only General Bascone, but he also beheads the horse, which I don't know how badass or how strong you have to be to do that, but Guts can do it. And I really thought that was cool. I don't condone the murder of animals, but when it comes to graphic novels like this, like Berserk, I'm okay with it because Kentaro Miura, his artwork is just amazing. And I think the set of volumes that I read for today was just so fucking detailed. There was so many images that I was sending to my friend who has sort of been pushing me to read Berserk for a while, and I finally did after finishing the TV show. And I'm just always just blown away by the artwork that Miura does. It is so just awesome. I just don't know how else to describe it. But Volume 7 was actually one of my least favorites of this section of these three. Volume 7 was my least favorite. Because outside of the battle and everything with the Tudor Empire, I just didn't care as much because it's a lot of sort of various characters talking about how much they love Griffith, which I've already seen the anime, and a lot of this stuff I've read already, and I'm just kind of... I kind of want to get on to the storylines that I don't know yet. And that's why I'm trying to... I think this week I'm going to try and finish the Golden Age arc, but aside from that, I really enjoyed this volume overall. I still rated it like 4 out of 5, 5 out of 5 on Goodreads, because I'm just more going for vibes when it comes to Goodreads. But we end off this with Casca getting shot with a poison arrow. And on top of that, we have Adon, who shows back up. And he is in an awesome shock helmet now. I really enjoy his armor. I made sure to make a note of that because I thought that was so cool. I love sort of the different ideas that Miura has when it comes to the armor sets, because one of my favorite things about Dark Souls and Elden Ring and Sekiro and all those other games is that there's the whole, I guess, trend or idea of fashion souls. And I love seeing people like dress up with the different armor and make something really cool looking. And I think a lot of ideas that people get from fashion or for fashion souls comes from Berserk, because a lot of armor from Berserk are in those games. And it's really fun to kind of see these armor sets in the story, because I've been seeing these forever, mainly Guts' armor. But Volume 8, though, was a lot. There was a lot that happened in Volume 8. We start right off the bat with Guts' sword, giant sword, breaking in half, and Casca killing Adon. And we also get Governor Ganon meeting with Griffith on the field, and then him being killed by Griffith, which was really cool. I really enjoyed that battle scene between Griffith and Ganon, because it was just, you don't see Griffith fighting all that often, but when he does, he just has so much skill, and there's a lot more to him than meets the eye, as I would say. But after they kill all of these important figures in the Tudor Empire, they have a celebration, and they get promoted by the king. And there's a really interesting side scene where Guts is walking. I can't remember exactly where he is, but he met with a demon at some point. He just ran into it, and it said, hey, in about a year or so, what exactly? No, he didn't give a deadline. He said soon, a thing called the eclipse is going to be happening, and I know what that is, and I don't want to talk about it in spoiler detail at all for those who haven't read the series, but that is very good that that is being mentioned again, because it's been a while since the eclipse has been mentioned in the story, and I know that's a pretty major event in the timeline of Berserk. So I'm very excited to get to that. I think it's volume 16 is when that comes in. I'm not sure, but that will be just a big WTF moment. I just cannot wait for that. I can't wait to see how the manga does it, because I've seen the anime, but I don't really know how that's going to happen in the manga, and I'm just excited to see what Miura comes up with for that, because I've heard it's much longer in the manga than it is in the anime, so that should be interesting. But as Griffith and the band are enjoying the honors, they are raised to basically royalty. Griffith becomes a lord, or becomes the general. Minister Foss is like one of the king or queen's like spy people. I don't know exactly what his position is in relation to her, but I mean, he's a minister, but he successfully poisons Griffith, and he falls to the ground, and everyone thinks, oh no, Griffith is dying. Casca is upset. Guts is upset, I believe. And so a whole thing breaks out, and one by one, everyone is killed in terms of the royalty, because the queen is killed, all of the advisors are killed, everybody is killed basically in a giant fire that burns everyone away. And the queen is like screaming from the castle, and she happens to see Griffith, who she thought was poisoned and dead, standing out there, and he's just smiling at her. And that is such like a... Like, if this was my first time reading the series, that would definitely unsettle me so much, because why did he do this? What is he doing? I mean, I know they were trying to kill him, but like this is such a big step for him to take. And as someone who knows what happens up to the eclipse, this is a big major tip off, I think, for the reader, that Griffith is not the best of people. And he definitely has more plans in the background that we are not privy to. But they all die. Minister Foss runs into Griffith and is like, how the hell did you know? And he's like, and Griffith is like, yeah, it was just from how scared you looked when you first saw me. And I knew from the moment I saw you that you would be helping me, is basically what he says. And Minister Foss is like, oh my god, you've known this entire time everything that's been going on. Like, I'm not going to double cross you anymore. Thank you for saving my family. I'm out of here. And I really enjoyed that part. I think that is such a like Game of Thrones moment for me, is Griffith burning down that entire castle. I remember watching the anime and just being just baffled and shocked at what was going on, because I knew Griffith would get his revenge, or like get his revenge, and I didn't think he would go to this length, because he basically just burns the castle down with everybody inside it, except for his crew, obviously. But that was so cool. I just really enjoy reading the series, because it goes places that I don't expect it to. And there's nothing more exciting to me than reading a story and not knowing where it's going. Obviously, I know about the eclipse, but there's really not that much left in the story until the eclipse. And I'm very excited. But the volume ends basically with Guts and Griffith dueling, because Guts is done. He doesn't want to be in the Band of the Hawk anymore. And Griffith is like, yeah, but you forgot that I own you. Just like the way that you came into my band, now you have to fight your way out. You have to duel me one-on-one. If I win, you're stuck with me. If you win, you may go. You are free. You are free to do whatever the hell you want. And Griffith loses. And Guts is able to just leave. And I thought that was really interesting. And then Griffith does the fucking worst thing. And that he decides that because Griffith is gone, he has no other choice but to immediately rape Princess Charlotte, who is the king's daughter, who just gave him lordship and given him lands, and like just gave him all the awards or rewards for taking down the Tudor Empire. And Griffith is spotted by a servant through the peephole in the doorway, and he is ratted out, he is captured, and he is thrown into a cellar. And we start off Volume 9 with him being tortured. We actually start Volume 9 with Guts running into the skeleton. What's his name? The Knight of Skeleton, who I have no idea who this is. He was not in the anime. And the Knight of Skeleton shows up and is like, hey, by the way, the eclipse, yeah, the thing you just heard about like last volume, that's coming in 1 year. And all your friends will be there. And Guts is like, what? And then the dream is gone. He's dreaming of this. And it is so just like scary, I guess. Because I know what happens at the eclipse. And this just being laid out there just without any explanation is so cool to me. Because I love like foreshadowing and stuff like that. But the eclipse especially, it's coming. I'm very excited for it. And to see how different it is, as I've mentioned. But yeah. Volume 9 is all about Griffith being tortured. And we find out that Casca has Well, as Casca and the rest of the Band of the Hawk are outside of the castle, they waiting for Griffith. Uh, they are ambushed by the Midland Guards and army, and they are shot upon by archers. And Casca ends up taking the reins and becoming the leader of the Band of the Hawk, while Griffith is in the cellar being tortured by this really weird guy, like torturer dude, who is like, who just has a really big head, and his eyes are just really creepy looking, the way that he looks at Griffith. But yeah, this volume is very dark actually, because after Griffith is tortured by the king is like, I'm going to my daughter now. And he goes to his daughter, and she's asleep, just alone. She's been given medicine by the doctor, or the medic, or I guess doctor, yeah. And she's asleep. And he opens her blouse, or her evening gown, and he just starts sucking on her breasts. And I was completely shocked by that, and I absolutely hated it. And was just like disgusted by it, because that was not in the anime. I was not expecting that whatsoever, and it was disgusting. He has just the nastiest looking eyes that I think I've ever seen drawn in manga, because he is like drooling out of his mouth for his daughter. And the way that Miura draws this section was just so disgusting. I did not like the art style of it, because he had like all of the panels super wet. I guess it had like a very wet looking texture to the artwork, and it was so nasty. I did not like it. I hated it. I texted my friend and I was like, this is disgusting. I don't like this. I don't remember this happening in the anime, and I don't think it does happen in the anime. But that was disgusting, and I don't know exactly what she does. He runs off, and she stays in her bedroom, I believe. And we don't really see them again this volume. So I'm curious to know what happens there, if anything different happens. But that was disgusting. I did not like it. I think this volume may be my least favorite. But we then flash forward to Guts, because he is at a tournament where there's sort of like a dueling going on. Two very skilled fighters are going at it. One of them is Silat. I don't know how you say his name, but he's fighting Valencia, who is nicknamed the King of Massacre. Love that name. Sounds really cool. Sounds really powerful. But Silat, I don't know how you say that. Please correct me. He wins, and he leads a bunch of other people to raid Casca and the Band of the Hawk, because he's like, I'm not being tested enough. This guy Guts, he just beat me in this duel, and I want to go have a good fight. So Guts is already, or Guts is sort of just doing his own thing, and we're watching Casca and her running the camp, running the Band of the Hawk. She's very tired, and Silat, or Silat, Sila, I don't know how to say that name. Please let me know. He and his bandits all ambush the Band of the Hawk, and Casca is about to be killed by Silat, and who but Guts shows up. And he just has a really awesome panel, by the way, in this moment where he rescues Casca, because he is just head to toe in armor. He has his big sword. He's like awesome looking, holding the sword, and he's like, "Hey, Casca, I'm here to fight." And he fights off Silat, and Silat has these really cool, like, boomerang, sort of like, gosh, that one guy, the one villain in James Bond, where he has the razor blade hats and stuff. It's kind of like that, but without the hat. It's just a circular disc. And that was really cool. I really hope we see Sea Light again soon, because he is not killed. But after that, Guts and Casca go catch up, because Guts has rejoined the Band of the Hawk now. And Casca and Guts have a really intimate scene together where they have sex, and they just really lay out their feelings bare to each other, talking about how they view Griffith, how they feel about him raping Charlotte. I keep wanting to say Chatelaine. That's not her name. Her name is Charlotte. But we finally have Guts talk to Casca, talk to somebody about what he went through with Gambino, and how he basically sold Guts to just some god because this god wanted to rape him, and he did rape him. And this was something that Guts himself, Guts hasn't really discussed before, and it's something he's kept bottled up within him, and he sort of has this really dark moment where he relives it while having sex with Casca, and we get this really harrowing scene where he's talking with Casca all about this experience, and she's like, oh, you didn't mean to kill Gambino, you were protecting yourself, you were defending yourself, and you don't really have any blame in that regard. And they really become close to each other, and it's just this really beautiful moment of empathy and compassion that I really, really enjoyed reading, because it's not something you see often in this series, at least from what I know, because the series is very dark. Everybody is very flawed. There's not really any good people in this world, but this moment and scene specifically was like such a breath of fresh air, I guess, because it was such a beautiful moment where Guts and Casca, they've never seen eye to eye with each other, and they finally do, and it was just a really beautiful moment. And Casca is really understanding towards him and tells him, like, it's not your fault, you were defending yourself. And I just really love that. I wasn't expecting that to happen anytime soon. I didn't really remember that from the anime. What I remember from the anime mostly are the action scenes and, of course, the eclipse. But these smaller moments of intimacy and compassion and empathy are just so good. It reminds me of my favorite series, Malazan Book of the Fallen by Steven Erikson, because it's a similar world where it's really fucked up. No one's that good of a person. And he also has moments of compassion and empathy that really sort of shine through the darkness of the series. I really enjoy that. I enjoy having lighter, or not lighter moments, but more moments like that. Moments of vulnerability and everything that goes along with that. But yeah, we ended Volume 9 with that, and that is all in terms of what I read for Berserk. Overall, I'm continuing to love this series. This is still one of my favorites of all time, and it will continue being so unless something really awful happens, but I don't think that will happen. So, wow. I guess I'm on volumes 11 to 13 for the next episode. And I believe it's volume 13 that the big event happens. So we shall see if I get there for the next episode. But thank you all so much for watching. I had a great time kind of recounting what I read and giving my review on these volumes, because this is sort of my first time reading such a long series in this sort of format where I'm taking it really seriously, taking notes, taking my time with it. I'm going to go faster, obviously, than I have been because it has been about a month since I've done a Berserk video. But yeah, they'll be coming out more regularly. That way I can finish the series and then read other manga because I want to read some more because I have a few manga series now popping up in my TBR list. And there's a lot of books I need to read. So, thank you all so much again for watching, and please have a great rest of the day.